All right, so I think we can start now. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our learning hour session. I'm Adib, and I'm delighted to be your host for today's session. We are honored to have our expert trainer, Mr. Kit, who will be sharing valuable insights on Power Query hacks to save time. All right. So, wait a minute. All right. So during the session, please feel free to ask question in the chat box below. Mr. Kit will address all the questions at the end of the session. As a reminder, please keep your microphones muted throughout the session to avoid any disruptions. Without further ado, I hand over the floor to Mr. Kit.
All right, thank you, Adib.
Welcome.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so for today's session, we're going to learn about Power Query, right? So I will just share my screen. Great. So we have learned about Excel, right? So a lot of us know about Excel, but not many of us know about Power Query. So what is actually a Power Query, right? As you can see that this is a very short lesson about Power Query. And as an introduction, Power Query is where we use it to connect. Okay, it's a connection technologies that helps you to discover, connect, combine, and refine data across a wide variety of sources. So for Microsoft Excel, normally we just deal with Excel, but Power Query is a tool that helps us to connect and combine the data from different sources. Okay, it can be from Excel, it can be from databases, for example, MySQL, SQL Server. It can also be from the web, right? And many other sources. So it allows us to extract, okay, the data from different sources, combine them, and we analyze them from that. Okay, so what is actually a query? So a query is a set of steps, okay, used to import and transform data from various sources into a desired format, right? So what Power Query can do besides just extracting data from different sources, another powerful thing about Power Query is that it will also help us to automate the processes. All right. So for example, if you have some reports that you have to do it on a weekly, monthly, or quarterly basis, where you have to manually repeat all the steps, right? So you then have to use Power Query to have you to save time. So how does it work is that the steps are actually recorded as a sequence and can be modified or adjusted at any time. So how it works is that we will record all the steps, okay, like how we did in macro in Excel. But here we're using another tools, which is Power Query. Okay, so what are the four phases of Power Query? So we need to connect first. So connect means we connect to different data sources for data extractions. So for example, we have Excel, CSV, web, okay, databases, SharePoint, so far, and many other data resources. So once we connect to the data sources, then we can then extract. Okay, we can then extract the data from the sources. Then after we extract the data, then we are going to transform them. So transform including to clean them, to reshape them, and to transform them to meet specific needs. So what are the transformation here? So it can include remove duplicates. It can include filtering data, merging data, splitting columns, and many others, right? Like normally how we do in Excel to clean the data. So we can also do it in Power Query, but the difference is that we will actually record the steps. And later on, later when you have to repeat the step, then you just need to click one button or a few buttons instead of repeating it manually every week or every month. Right. So after that, After we clean the data, the next step we might have to do is to combine. All right, so to combine data from multiple sources using various techniques. So the common tasks include merging table, appending tables, and joining tables. So basically, sometimes we might have data from Excel, even we can have many different workbooks, right? Okay, many different workbook, and you have data from the book, workbook one and workbook two that you might want to join them together. Okay, or might want to perform VLOOKUP, then we can do it in Power Query as well. And lastly, after your transformation and also combining, then lastly, you're going to load, okay, load the transform data into Excel file or Power BI later for data analysis and visualization. Right. So this is the Power Query interface, right? So this is how it looks like. Later we can see the real interface. So just to introduce a little bit about the interface, on the top here, we have the ribbon, the blue color one. This is where we see every Microsoft Office tools. So there's a ribbon with a lot of tools and buttons, right? Then the next thing is on the left-hand side, the green color, so there's a query list. So query list is like different tables or different data sources that we're working on. Right? So you might have many other different data sources that you need to work together. So all the data source will be listed under the query list. Okay, moving on to the right-hand side, you can see on top there's a formula bar. So formula bar, it's a red color one. So this is something like Excel. You can see the formula bar, but normally in a beginner or fundamental levels, we do not need to bother with the formula bars because almost everything is automated, right? So we don't need to code it manually. So next one, after the formula bar, at the bottom, there'll be data preview. Okay, data preview, the gray color one. So this one is like after we transform or clean the data step by step, then how it will look like. Okay, then moving on to right hand side, then there will be a properties. So this one is just the name of the data source that we're working on. Okay, and the last but not least, on the bottom right, there will be the apply steps. So the apply step is where we record down what we have done to the data source. So this is important because this will be the steps that the Power Query will use, okay, to automate your task in the future. Right. So yes, so this is just a very short introduction to the Power Query. Right. The next step, okay, the next step I'm going to share with you the learning materials for today, okay, so that you can download along and follow. So this will be the code. This will be the link I've shared in the chat box, and you could see, okay, and you can see the learning materials here. Okay, so then you can actually download the four topics that we're going to have today, which we have just done topic one, the lesson one, a very quick preview of Power Query. And after that, we're going to have lesson two, how to combine the files and automate the transformation. Lesson three, how to split the columns, okay, by delimiters. And the last lesson, how we transform the text column. Okay, so once you have downloaded, then we are going to start lesson number two. Okay, so for lesson number two, either you can follow along or you can just look at what I am doing. Okay, because this lesson is about how do we combine the files together and how do I automate the transformations. Okay, so what you can see in the learning materials is that I have four files here about the retailer. Okay, retailer Costco, retailer Target, Walmart, Walgreens. So all this data, okay, are actually for different retailer. So what I want to do is that I actually wanted to uh, combine them. Okay, I actually want to combine them because I wanted to have an integrated, integrated reports about different retailer. So before I can combine them, right, I need to actually create a new folder. So what I would do now is that I will head to my desktop. Okay, so I'll head to my desktop. Hold on. Okay, I will head to my desktop and I will create a folder. Okay, I call it as the retailer folder. Okay, I call it retailer folder. Okay, maybe you could have seen. Let me just share with you. Okay, so this is the retailer folder that I have actually just created. So why am I creating this folder? Is that because I wanted to put in my retailer files, Excel file into this folder. Okay, what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to input, okay, I'm going to drag the retailer file into this folder, but I'm not going to drag everything first. I'm going to drag the going to drag two files first. Okay, let me just share it again here. Okay, let me put it side by side so that it's easier for us to see. Okay, so now you can see that I have on my right hand side, this is where this is where all the materials just now. And on the left hand side is the retailer folder. Okay, so in the retailer folder now, if you open it up, it's empty. Okay, it's empty. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to drag the Costco and also the Target. So I'm going to have these two, okay, two retailer files to drag in my retailer folder, okay, which is the retailer Costco and retailer Target. Okay, so if I close it down now and I open up again retailer, so I have two files here. Okay, so the reason I'm doing this is because I wanted to combine these two files. Okay, I want to combine these two files, right? So how do we actually open up a Power Query? Okay, you can open up Power Query with by open up an Excel, okay, an Excel file. Okay, an Excel file. So I will just go back to my Excel file now. Okay, so now you open an empty Excel file. To go to Power Query, you can go to the Data tab. Okay, you go to the Data tab and you can see Get Data from File, from Folder. Okay, from file, from folders, because I'm saying that I want to get data into Power Query and I'm getting data from folder. So you can see here, beside folder, you can see I can see from file, you can see from Excel workbook, from text, from XML, JSON, okay, PDF, okay, from SharePoint. And on the left hand side, there are many others sources that we can actually get the data from. And this is what I was saying, that you can actually get the data from different data sources. And now I'm just getting it from a folder. So when I click on the folder, okay, once I see the folder, then I will go to my desktop. And just now we have the retailer here. So retailer, it's the folder that I want to get the data from. So I'll just click on the retailer and I'm going to just click open. Okay, so once I have click on the open, you can see that now they are actually getting the data from this folder. So in the folder, I have two files, retailer postcode, retailer target. And at the bottom, they will ask whether you want to combine or whether you want to load or whether you want to transform data or just cancel the operation. And for now, we wanted to do combine, okay? But when you click on the drop down beside combine, there'll be combine transform, combine load, and combine load too. Okay, because I wanted to combine and do some simple cleaning, so I'm just going to click on combine and transform data. Okay, so once I'm here, okay, you can see that, okay, I click on the data here because this data is a preview. Then on the right hand side, you will see the preview of the data. Okay, you will see on the preview of the data and you can just click OK. Right, so this is how the data looks like. Okay, we can see that there are on the preview, we can see Costco, right? So because we have combined Costco and also target. So what you can do is that you can actually scroll down, okay? Then you can see that now the target Excel file is also in, okay, also in the Power Query. So this is the very first step that we have done it. Okay, so this is the first step on how we can get data from different data sources. So in this case, I'm getting it from a folder. So what they were doing is that they will combine, okay, they will combine the files inside a folder. And this is the data preview. Okay, and on the right hand side, you can see the apply steps here. So the apply steps here is like what I have mentioned. So these are the steps that we need to apply, okay, or we are applying to transform the data. So why are there already a few steps here? Okay, it's that because Power Query is a very powerful tool that they will actually help us kind of automate, okay, a little bit of transformation. So yeah, so there will be a few steps before you actually do anything if they think that they need to transform or clean the data for you. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to do some simple, very simple cleaning and transformation. Okay, so what I will do now, okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to contact, okay, I'm going to contact here. So this is my contact, right? Because I have Anna dash Costco. So if I do not want to have the Costco again because it's a bit redundant, so I just want to keep the contact name, which is Anna, right? So this is a way of how you can transform your data. So in Power Query, you can only transform the data by column, okay, by column, meaning to say you cannot adjust or modify the data by row. Okay, once you transform anything, okay, it will be applied to the entire column. Okay, so what I want to do now is that I want to make sure that, okay, I wanted to have the ANA only. So once I have clicked on the contact, so you can see on top of the Power Query interface, you can look at the ribbon, you have the home tab, you have the transforms, okay, you have the add column and view. And what is important when you are doing data cleaning and transformation, you are only playing with the transform and add column. Okay, transform and add column. So transform, they will transform the column itself. If you choose add column, they will add another column, okay, with the transform data. So now I'm just going to click on transform. Right. So the next step I want to do is that I want to extract. Okay, I want to extract. Extract means that I want to I want to get the part, the small part of the text, right? I want to get A now. Okay, I want to keep A now, right? So I'm just going to extract, and they will allow you to choose how you want to extract. And observe that there is a delimiter, which is a dash. So I can just say with text before delimiter. Okay, text before delimiter. So I can just put a dash. Okay, then I click OK. Then you can see that they have already extracted whatever before the delimiter for me, which is A now. And this is on not only for Costco, but it will also be applied to the target, okay, which is the contact SWOT. Right, and now you can see the entire column has been transformed. Okay, so this is a very simple example of data transformations. Okay, not only that, so what we want to do now is that we want to go to the next one. Okay, let's transform another column. Okay, another column will be this, okay, the region state column. So the region state column here, we have the region and the state. So if you wanted to split them, okay, I want to split them, I want to split one column or talking about the region, which is the west or south, another column talking about the state, then I can just click on that column. And now what I can do, okay, what I can do is that I will go to transform and split column. Okay, so split column by delimiter again. Delimiter now I have a double dash. Okay, so I'm going to choose custom here. Okay, then my delimiter. So delimiter, they will ask whether the delimiter is a column, comma, equal sign, semicolon, space, or tab. But my delimiter is quite special, which is a double dash. So I'm just going to put a double dash and click OK. Right, now you can see that I have my region state 1, region state 2, and now this column has been dedicated to region only, and this column has been dedicated to state only. Okay, so now you can see that the table is called region state 1, okay, and this is called region state 2, which doesn't make any sense or it can be confusing. So I can just right click, okay, and I can just rename it. Okay, I can rename it to region. And for this, I can rename it to state. Right, then you can look at your apply step on the right hand side. Yeah, so this is a few things that I've done just now. Okay, for example, extracted the text before delimiters, split column by delimiters, change type 1, okay, so rename the columns. So these are the few things that we have done it, right? So once you are good with the transformations, right? So what you can do, you can just go back to the home tab and you can click close and load. Okay, you can just click on the close and load. Then this data will be loaded into the Excel file, okay, with a table, right? With a table, you can see the Costco, here you can see the Costco retailer, and you can see the Tiger retailer. So all the files are now combined and transformed already. Okay, so in the contact column, there is no more retailer name. And in the region state, so they have been splitted to two different columns. Right, so this is how we can load, okay, combine and transform the data from transfer the data, okay, from the files in a folder. Right, so we can actually save this, okay, so maybe you can just save this into the desktop as well. Okay, so we can save it outside of the retailer combine. So I'm just save it in my desktop. Okay, don't save it under the don't save it in the retailer folder. Okay, save it outside the retailer folder. So just save it. Okay, so now it's called retailer combine. And now let's look at the data again. We have the Costco, we have the targets, right? Okay, so I'm just going to close this down. Okay, the reason I close this down because I have another, okay, I have another two retailer. If you remember just now, we have another two retailer, which is the Walmart and also the Walgreens. So just imagine that you have just done combining these two files, the Costco and the Target. Okay, and you just transform the column. You just remove the contact name and you just split the region and the states. And suddenly you have another two more reports, okay, from two different retailers. So normally what you will do is that you will need to repeat the step. Okay, if you do learn Power Query yet, then normally you need to combine them manually. Then you need to transform again on the data. Okay, but since you have learned Power Query, so what you can do is that you can actually move, okay, or you can actually copy these two, okay, into the folder that we have just created just now, okay, which is the retailer folder. Okay, so now the retailer folder, we have four different retailer, which is Costco and Target. Then we have Walmart and Walgreens. So these are the two new retailer. Okay, so once we have put in the folder, okay, the magic will happen is that Power Query actually remember what you have done just now. So now, if you go back to your, if you open your retailer combine, okay, let me just go back to my retailer combine. Okay, so this is retailer combine. So I have the Costco and then I have the targets, right? Have the target. So now what happened is that I have already put in two new files inside the folder, which is Walmart and Walgreens. Okay, so with Power Query, we do not need to repeat the steps manually. So what we need to do instead is that we just need to refresh. Okay, you just need to refresh this. So I'm going to just right click, okay, right click on the table, and I'm going to just click on refresh. And now you can see that now in this folder, this Excel file, I have the new retailer with me, which is the Walmart and also the Walgreens. Not only that, okay, they have also removed the Walmart and the Walgreens under the context. Okay, let's see if they have also splitted the region and state. Okay, yes, they already removed, I mean, they splitted the region and state, which is now Walmart is under Northeast region and New York State. Okay, so check again for Walgreen. Yes, all good. So you can just save it. Now you can see the magic of using Power Query. Okay, no more manual work because you only need to record the steps for once, then you can use it, okay, for automation in the future. Okay, and this is about topic number lesson number 2, okay, to combine and automate transformation. Okay, so for the next one, we are going to the lesson number 3. Okay, let me just share the screen again. Okay, lesson number 2, we have combined the files and automate the transformation. So now lesson number 3, splitting columns by delimiters. So here we can use the data for lesson number 3, which is splitting column. Okay, splitting column. So I can just open up my lesson number 3. Okay, so here you can see that I have this lesson number three. When we learn about how to split the column, actually we have learned a little bit on splitting column just now. We split the region and the states, right? So not only that, okay, so we can also split it by many others method. So for example, we have there's details, the ID, name, age, and email, but everything is in one cell. And what we want to do is that we want to split them, right? So to put this into Power Query, okay, what we can do just now is that we use the data tab. Okay, use the data tab to get this files from the folder. But if you just want to transform a single table, what you can do, you can just also right click this table, right? And you can click on get data from table range. And then they will actually load your table in the Power Query. All right. So once you have the Power Query interface, then you can start to split the columns. So how to split them and just click on transforms, right? So the first thing I wanted to split as I think as the email, right? Email at the back, right? I just want to split them into different column. So I'm just going to split column by delimiters. Okay, as we can see that the email is after the three asterisks or the three stars. Okay, so that will become our delimiters. So my delimiters will be three stars and click OK. So here you will see that the column with the email is already here and it's split up from the first column itself. Okay, so once you are done, then you can just right click to rename, or you can just double click. Okay, you can just double click on the header to rename it as email. Okay, then the next one, okay, after splitting the email, then we also wanted to split the age. Okay, you can see the number at the back is actually the age, right? So just split column. And I think to split out the age, that's also split out by delimiters, that is a comma at the back, right? So just put space, select or enter delimiters, so there will be a comma. Okay, so be very careful of the comma, okay, because that for example, you can see the first name, okay, we can see the first row, they have two commas, okay, they have two commas. So if you put comma, they will split whatever, they will split whenever they see the comma. So to make sure that you only split out the age, right, you can just click on rightmost delimiter. Rightmost means you can ask them to just check on the comma at the rightmost, okay? Then you can just click OK. Then now you can see that a new column. Okay, so this new column is about the age here. Okay, it's about the age here, and you can just double click on that and click age. Okay, then next one we have the ID and the name. Okay, so for ID and the name, right? You can see, for example, the ID has MM831. Okay, Cyrus. So I think the difference between the ID and the name is that how do we want to split them? Okay, let's look at the option here. Okay, so the option here is by delimiters, by number of characters, okay, by positions. Okay, the very useful function here is that we can use the by digit to non-digit or by non-digit to digits. Okay, meaning to say that because the ID end with digits, right? So we can actually click on by non-digit, I mean by digit to non-digits. Okay, so digit to non-digit meaning to say that once okay, I can see there's a difference, okay, where the digit meet the non-digit, then do a split. All right, just click on by digit, the non-digit. Yes, so this is how it looks like. Okay, and we can name it, rename it as, so this will be the ID. Okay, so we have successfully transformed the column, okay, by splitting the original data to different column and we'll rename them. Okay, and once we're good, then we go to the Home tab and we can close and load. Okay, we can close and load them. Now you can see that in the same data file, you have the new table, table 2, and another tab is split by delimiter. So this is the original data. Okay, if you look at the original data, the last row is actually Teddy, actually Teddy, right? So if you go back to your table 2, so last row is Teddy, right? So why do we have a few name at the bottom? Okay, so I just want you to presume that so these field names are actually a new name, right? A new information that you also have to transform them. So again, if you don't learn Poker yet, then you have to split them manually. But because we have already learned Poker have already recorded down, okay, what you have done, then they will actually apply the same, okay, to the future data. Right, so this finding just now was not part of the table. So what I want to do now is that I want to move this, okay, I want to move this data, okay, to go under this table so that it will be part of the table. So once they are part of the table, then Power Query will treat the five new data, okay, as the data that have to be transformed as well. Okay, how to check whether the five names are included? Okay, you need to go back to the results, which is under table 2. So now table 2, the last name is still Teddy. Okay, in your original data, the last column is the letter, okay, letter pi. So again, in the results table, whenever you have new data or anything changes in the data, to make sure that it is updated, you have to right click and you have to refresh it. Okay, then you can see the new data are actually included and they are actually transformed as well. Right? So in short, Power Query can really record okay whatever you have done, and in the future they will automate for you okay without requiring you to repeat the steps manually again. So this can be done for files in a folder. This can be done in a single Excel file itself as well. All right, so this is about lesson 3. How do we split column? And most importantly, I wanted to let you know that you can actually do it. You can do it in a single Excel file as well, not necessarily just files from folders. Okay, right. So we'll come to the last lesson for today, which is about how to transform the text column. Okay, I will open up my text column, lesson number 4. Okay, so this data lesson number 4, it's about how do we transform the text column. Okay, as you can see that in our data, okay, we have the name, we have the IC number, we have the gender. So what happened here is that in the name, okay, it is actually a mix of characters, uppercase, lowercase, then there with spaces, right? So to transform this, okay, we can get them into Power Query. So of course, Excel can also transform, but in case later in the future you have the new data, okay, then you can use Power Query to automate the transformation. Then you do not need to do it manually again. So right click and get them into Power Query. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is that I want to remove the spaces, okay, the unnecessary spaces in the name. So I'm going to go into my transforms, transform tab, right? Then I'm going to format. Okay, I'm going to format and I'm just going to click on trim. Okay, so this will be the trimming format. So the trim has a limitation, okay, where you can just trim the space at the front and the space at the back. Okay, so if you want to trim, if you want to remove the spaces in between, then there'll be another method, right? So next one. Okay, so next is about how we are going to change, okay, the cases of uppercase and the lowercase. Again, we can go to the format button. Here you can see just how we have used a trim, and we can also change the text to uppercase, lowercase, capitalize each word, right? So let's see if we change it to lowercase, right? Then everything will be in lowercase. So again, change to uppercase. Okay, then I'll change it to capitalize each word. Okay, then I'm going to change it to, okay, so these are the three, right? Lowercase, uppercase, and capitalize. Okay, so this is on how do we want to change the case and how do we trim the spaces. Okay, the next thing we're going to learn is how do we want to extract the text, right? So here, for example, I have the IC number, right? The IC number here. So what I wanted to do is that I want to have three different columns. Okay, I do not want to transform, I want to add column. Okay, meaning to say that I want to extract certain information from this column. I do not want to transform this column. Okay, so if you want to extract it, but do not want to disturb this column, then you can use on top here, there's an add column tab. Okay, so this add column tab is where you can use it, okay, to actually extract the data without disturbing the column itself. So extract, right? So what I want to do is that I wanted to extract the first six numbers, the last four numbers, and also the two numbers in between, right? Into three different columns, right? So I wanted to extract the first six number. So to extract, so you can use the first characters. First characters means the first few characters, right? Just click on first few characters. And you can just put six because I wanted to extract six characters. Click OK. Yeah. So next one, I want to extract last character, which is four characters. And now in between the two numbers, right, this is where I'm going to use the range. So starting index. So starting index is they're asking on which character you want to start extracting, right? So you want to extract the number in between. So I have to count which character is that. So I'll start from 9. 9 is the first character, 2 second character. Okay, so I will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So suppose it is the 8th character, but because Paul Curry a little bit different for Excel, they start from 0. So they do start from 1. Okay, so let's see if I choose. Okay, so I'm going to put my index 9 and I'm going to put 2 characters and see what happens. Okay, so this is the wrong one. Okay, so if you, for example, if you put a wrong number, then what you can do is that you can come over to the apply step here and you can just click on the, okay, you can just click on the red color cross at the, on the left hand side of the step. Then they'll remove for you. Okay, so let me just put it here. Okay, insert the text range. Okay, so the last step is the wrong one. Okay, I do not want this. So, okay, remove it, then no more already. Okay, so I wanted to extract it, the range. So it's supposed to start from 7, okay, because it starts from 0. So the first character is a 7th character. So 2 characters and click OK. Right, so this will be my numbers in the middle. Okay, so what's the next thing is that I wanted to also extract the name here. So just how we have learned about the first character, last character, and the range, right? So I'm to explore the last two function, which is to extract the text before limiters and the text after limiters. I'm going to extract the first name, the last name, okay, from the name column. So I'm going to click on the name column, extract. So text before the limiter. So the delimiter here, how do we want to see what is the delimiter here? Normally we have dash, right? To actually tell us what's split between two different data. But here we don't have any dash. We can use a space. Okay, we can use a space. So what we can do is that we can go to delimiters and we can just click on the space button. Then we're telling them that I want to extract the text before the space. Okay, before the space. So if I click OK, so what happens is that it will actually get for me Ahmad. Okay, why Ahmad? Because Ahmad is before the space. Okay, Ahmad Faiz, so there's a space in between. So before the space is Ahmad, right? That's why I have the first name here. Okay, so okay, maybe this is the last name. Right, is the last name, or we call this a surname. Doesn't matter here. Okay, and if you want to also extract, okay, the given name or the first name, that is something after the space, right? Then you can just extract after the limiters. Just put a space, not a dash. Okay, then just click OK. Right. So this will become what happened after they have actually extracted, okay, extracted the text after the limiters. Okay, so this is about lesson number 4. Okay, we can just, once you're done, you can just close and load it. All right, so this will become the transform data. All right, so for the lesson number 4. All right, so this is about a few features in Power Query that we can use it to save time, right? So that including the first topic that we have done just now. Okay, just let me share the learning materials with you again. All right. So what we have done just now in throughout the 15 minutes, right? So we have learned about what Power Query is, okay? And it is a tools that help us to connect to different data sources, learn how to combine them, and apply the steps for data transformation and cleaning for future automation or future data analysis. Okay, so in lesson two, we learn how to combine them, okay, combine the files and automate the transformation in the future. And lesson three and four, we learn how to split, okay, the column by delimiters and also to transform the text columns. So when you already have applied all these steps, so in the future, when you have new data, then you can just refresh result tables, and that's how you can save time with Power Queries. Right. So I believe this is all from me for today, okay, to use Power Query hacks to save time. Thank you so much for your attention and hope to see you again in the future.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Kids. So let me share my screen first. All right. So thank you so much, Mr. Kids, for the excellent presentation. All right. So as for the video recording of this session, it will be available on our YouTube channel at Cell Academy Malaysia by tomorrow. Now, let me inform you guys about our upcoming training session. If you are interested in enrolling in one of these courses, feel free to contact us. We have digital marketing training, digital marketing masterclass, digital marketing professional in April. We also have CapCut for video marketing, Canva, AI Bootcamp, introduction to AI tools for office productivity, ChatGPT and AI tools for content creation and marketing, and social media marketing. We also have Microsoft training, Microsoft Excel Basic until advanced level, which is Microsoft Excel Intermediate and Advanced level is confirmed session next week. We also have introduction to Power BI and Microsoft Power BI with AI tools. And lastly, we have human resources training. So I think that's basically it for today's webinars. Thank you all for your participation and have a great day. Once again, thank you, Mr. Kids.
Okay, thank you, Adi. Thank you, Academy. Thank you, everyone.